My name is Elle. I'm a 21-year-old student educational scientist from the Netherlands, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want to talk to you about my organization system, because I found a system that works really well for me, but it might be a tiny bit of an unconventional system. Because I feel like a rule that a lot of the people in the organization self-development community live by is to keep as much of your organization in one place. And I feel like a lot of people, for example, use Notion or a bullet journal for that. And in the book, The Bullet Journal Method, writer Carol actually says that the bullet journal is meant to collect everything in your life in one place. But although I love using a bullet journal, I just didn't feel like it gave me everything that I needed to make it my one go-to option to organize my full life. And the reason why that is because different media, of course, have different affordances, and affordances are basically things that you can do with a certain medium. And I feel like by combining different kinds of media, I have been able to really find an organization system that works for me. And I'm actually not really bothered by things not really being all in one place, because I think, one, it's impossible to have everything in one place. Maybe that's just bad organization on my part, but I feel like there are so many different places where I have to go on a daily basis to get my information from. For example, Canvas for my university. And I also feel like if you don't start mixing too many different media, it's not that hard to remember where everything is. So personally, I make use of Notion on my laptop, a bullet journal, and Noteshelf on my tablet. And now I will explain to you how and why I use these. And if you like this video, please make sure to press the like button and subscribe if you want to see more videos of me. So first I will talk about Notion. And I use Notion for two things mainly. So firstly, I use it as a database for all the information that I really need to be able to quickly and easily access, and that I will need for a longer period of time. And I also use Notion for my calendar and my master to-do list. So for my knowledge base, I dump a lot of things there. For example, I built a whole database with my work experience and all the skills I gained during these experiences. And Notion is really the ideal tool to use for that, because it is very easy to search and organize. And I also love that there is no risk of losing anything because it's all saved online. And if you would like me to make a dedicated video about this database, then make sure to like this video and let me know in the comments. And then I also use Notion as my calendar, also for the same reason that I cannot lose it, because I'm always very paranoid about writing it down in like a physical planner and then losing the physical planner and having no idea anymore what is when. And I also love that I can easily check it and add new events from any device that I have on me. Because I always have my phone on me, for example, so I can easily add events immediately when I hear about them. And I also love that Notion allows me to use emojis to organize my calendar a bit. For example, I use the different color book emojis to organize different kinds of events and deadlines for my university. And then I also use Notion for my master task list. And the main reason why I do this is because then I can relate my master tasks to my calendar events. So for example, if I have one deadline for university and I have to do multiple tasks for that, for example, read a book and write a paper, and I can easily link those tasks to the event in the calendar, and that makes it really easy to keep track of everything. And I also use Notion to plan when I will actually do each of the tasks. And I love that I can switch from table view to calendar view, because in calendar view it's really easy to switch around different tasks to see which planning works best. And then secondly, I use Noteshelf on my tablet. And there are two things that I use Noteshelf for. Firstly, I use it for my digital notes for university, and I also use it for time blocking. So the reason why I use Noteshelf for my study notes is firstly because I really love handwriting. And multiple studies have also shown that handwriting improves your retention of the stuff you learn, which is really helpful because in the end you will of course have to learn all the stuff that you take notes on. But the reason why I really prefer handwritten digital notes on my tablet over normal handwritten notes is because it's very easy to restructure your notes. And one of the things that I have learned studying educational sciences is that the structure of your notes really is key in being able to learn and memorize what is in your notes. Because the closer your notes are to the way that your brain actually remembers the information, the easier it will be for you to use your notes to study from. Because I feel sometimes the structure of a book or a lecture doesn't really fully fit with the way my brain actually remembers the information. And by using digital handwritten notes, it's so easy to just, after the lecture or after taking notes on a book, to switch around the order of the things you wrote down and change up the structure a bit to create revision materials that have the ideal structure for you to remember the information. And then I also use Noteshelf to time block my weekly schedule. And the reason why I do this is mainly because I hate using Google Calendar, because you have to click and you have to give everything a name, and then you have to give a starting time and an ending time, and for some reason I feel it's just so inefficient and slow. And maybe that's just me being incapable of doing it fast, but I really dislike it. And in Noteshelf I can just easily draw a few lines to highlight a certain area to block out that time for a certain event. And it's so really easy to use the select tool to move things around to try out different schedules. And by far the best thing is that there is a duplicate button, so every week I can just duplicate the template from last week and adopt it a bit, because a lot of the things in my time blocking schedule are the same every week, and the duplicate button just makes it so quick and easy to plan for the next week. And then the main reason why I use a bullet journal is because I find that while I'm actually working, I really don't want to have to constantly check my tablet or check my laptop to write down any tasks or notes, because I feel like it really sort of interrupts my workflow, it distracts me, and it's just very inefficient for me. So every morning I look at my calendar and at my task list, and I write down the events and the tasks for that day, so that for that day I have everything in my bullet journal and I don't have to interrupt my flow by going on my computer or my phone, and I can just look in my bullet journal to remind myself of what is going on today. And then anytime a task pops up or something else that I need to remember, I can just quickly note it down, and then at the end of the day I look at everything that I wrote down, and if there's anything that I didn't get done for today or is still relevant for the future, I will transfer that information to my Notion. And I also use my bullet journal to write a short reflection each day, simply because I feel like it's just the least distracting medium, and I can really just focus on myself and my own thoughts and not be bothered by any notifications popping up. So that was a short description of the different media that I use for my organization system and why that works for me. And I really hope that this video has inspired you to maybe also consider combining different media to find a system that really works for you. And of course, if a certain media works for a certain task for me, that does not have to be the same for you. So really feel free to try out different media for different purposes and see what works for you. And a small final tip, if you use different media to save different information, is to make a short list and save it in your Notion or wherever else that you can easily find it, just to write down which media contains which information, because that will really help you, especially at the start, to not sort of get overwhelmed by using different media at the same time, and will help you to easily find back the information that you're looking for. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like it and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me.